The following is a production of the Neighborhood Sports Network.
This is the NSPN Prep Update, a weekly look at scores, highlights, and stories from across the state. Hello and welcome to the NSPN Prep Update. I'm Ryan Phelps, coming to you this week from St. Michael Albertville High School, the site of the State Track and Field Championships. On today's show, we'll wrap up Maddyn Greenway's incredible high school career as she chases more state championships in track. We'll also profile a sister act in relay racing, and we'll find out more about the Eastridge boys lacrosse team that can boast about having the two top scorers in the state. But first, some sounds from the neighborhood.
There's a high fly ball to deep left field. That's going to do it all the way to the track. And a walk-off hit for Jake Murphy. St. Cloud Cathedral.
The 0-2 from Trevor Llewellyn is swung on and missed. Corey, this one's for you. For the first time in school history, the Ogilvie Lions roar on to the state tournament.
It would be an epic comeback for Eastridge. They go cross field, and Eastridge wins it! Stolzberg with the stalwart game winner!
Back row, free ball coming here for Johnson. That might have been going long, but Yang played it anyway. Here goes Doing for the win! He got it! St. Paul Johnson are your Section 4 boys volleyball champions for 2026 as they win the fifth set 15-12.
And now looking to turn the corner. Nope. In the middle. Shot, score. Nice job there to tie things up.
Sartell came into the tournament 21-4. They're 4-0 in their sectional as that one hammered toward left field and deep, and that one a no-doubter.
They're going stride for stride. Strauss, the top. Drake at the bottom. Head-to-head. Strauss pulling ahead by his shoulder. It's going to be a lean at the tape for the gold medal, and diving across is Sebastian Strauss. Giving absolutely everything, and he wins the race in 4/100ths of a second over Cooper Drake. That is a phenomenal finish.
Remember Maddyn Greenway? We've charted many milestones in her illustrious prep career. Mike Peden caught up with Maddyn at the IMAC Track and Field Championships as she takes her final bow at Providence Academy.
It won't be long before Maddyn Greenway's basketball throng follows her exploits at Kentucky. But the seniors' swan song in varsity is the beat of cleats on a track of rubber.
Once I started to have success in it and really see my personal growth throughout the season, and just being such an individual sport, I learned to kind of enjoy it, and now it's one of my favorite sports, and I really look forward to it every spring.
Greenway needed some convincing from her father to take up a spring sport, but track was an excellent fit for one of Providence Academy's greatest athletes.
I picked it up in 8th grade, and it was mostly just to stay in shape and all that. I still had club basketball going on, and it led to a lot of busy springs.
Busy doesn't begin to sum up Greenway's itinerary this spring. Before she could hit the track, she had to hit the hardwood in 3 National High School All-Star games, including the McDonald's All-American game and Nike Hoops Summit.
I kind of got started a little bit late. Obviously, I had those things in late March and all that, but super fun experiences, and just kind of came into the track season, ready to work and ready to have fun, and just really enjoy my last, thing as a Lion, and just really soak in all the memories.
There are plenty of memories to choose from already. Greenway boasts 4 Class 2A state track titles, including back-to-back wins in the 300-meter hurdles.
I really do enjoy it, and it's a really fun group of girls to, go through all the tough moments with, but it ends with a lot of fun moments and PRs and all that, which is what it's, really about.
To put Greenway's versatility into context, her high school sports career is decorated with 11 state titles and 8 state records across 3 sports.
Just to be able to be competitive and be such a force across all sports was really my goal coming into it, and I also think it shows how serious I take all my sports, because I really do. I put a lot of work into each one.
Amidst the trickle of tears that precipitates a senior year, Greenway is ready to splash into new territories.
It's emotional, but I'm also a little bit ready to go and start my new chapter. I feel like I've done all I can do really here in my athletic career, so really just end it with a bang, and then really just having fun through it all, I think, is the biggest thing for me.
In Plymouth, I'm Mike Maddyn for NSPN.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mike. If you didn't get a chance to see state track this year, you missed a lot. We'll start in Class 2A. This meet was the last hurrah for Maddyn Greenway. Here in the 300-meter hurdles, Greenway would get her only individual state title this year, running in a time of 42.57, which was a new class and Minnesota all-time record. She now has a total of 13 individual and team state championships across her 3 sports in her illustrious high school career. In the girls' wheelchair shot put, Kayla Gassman of Big Lake with a throw of 22 feet and a little over 7 feet further than her nearest competitor, and a new Class 2A record, and a new Minnesota all-time record. Keep that phrase, class record, in mind for the rest of these highlights. 400-meter race. Breck's Lulu McGarry wins in 54.54. Not a record, but a trifecta. McGarry sweeps the sprints, winning the 100, 200, and 400-meter races. Mankato East wins the boys' team, while Orono takes the girls. Class 1A, this is the 4x200 relay. Final leg for Ezra Burrows of Cotter. He has a lead on Andrew Jones of Osakis and does not relent. Burrows, Isaac Mankey, John Gibson, and Braden Nowakowski win with a class record of 128.42. Grayson Gibson from Morris, Chicago, Alberta just explodes from the start and takes the 110 hurdles in a time of 13.88. That is a class record and a Minnesota all-time record, which has stood for 14 years. Girls 200 meters. Ely's Violet Udovich in lane 4 battling Hills Beaver Creek star Bryn Bakken in lane 3. Udovich had just enough of a lead early on to hold on and take the 200 in 23.89. That's 7/100ths of a second faster than Bakken. New Class A record and all-time Minnesota record that had been in the books 10 years. Cotter wins the boys' team title. Hills Beaver Creek takes it for the girls. Class 3A 4x100 relay race. Cambridge Isani's Jackson Zebar takes the baton in 3rd place and turns on the Jets. A big-time win for Zebarth, Simeon Porta, Knox Andrews, and Anders Lalemo. 41.19 was the time, which is a class and Minnesota all-time record. Sounding like a broken record, aren't we? Girls 800 meters. Not much of a race here, as Chaska's Noella Ross wins by more than 3.5 seconds. Her winning time was 2:06.17, which was, say it with me, a class and Minnesota all-time record. Speaking of winning a race going away, here is Wayzata's Maddie Gullickson at the final turn of the 1600-meter race. She wins by 5.5 seconds in a time of 4:41.65. One more time, a class and Minnesota all-time record. But wait, there's more. It's the 19th fastest time in the entire U.S. high school system. Cambridge Isani wins the boys' competition. Wayzata, on the strength of Gullickson, wins it for the girls. In the finals this year, 38 class records were broken at the St. Michael Albertville track. 17 of those were new all-time Minnesota records, and 11 records in 3A were Minnesota all-time marks. You often hear about siblings competing on the same high school squad, but how about 3 sisters and on the same relay team? Andrea Mayu introduces us to the Speedy Trio representing Tri-City United here at the state meet.
Preparing to compete at the state track and field championships takes plenty of practice.
We're just always together.
Being in sync matters. The Tri-City United girls team may have a not-so-hidden advantage.
I'm Caitlin, I'm a junior. I'm Carly Hartwig, I'm a sophomore. I'm Kimmy Hartwig, I'm an 8th grader.
The Hartwig sisters have it dialed in on the track.
I'm really excited. I just feel like we're coming in with good times, and I just feel confident in how we can do.
It is very unique. It's super special. I mean, they are amazing athletes. They're super hardworking.
No strangers to the state meet. It's Cammie's 2nd trip competing in long jump this year. Caitlin's 3rd trip running the 200, which she set the school record in this year. And Carly's qualified 4 times. Her individual event, the 400, which she won as a 7th grader. All three make up the state qualifying 4x100 and 4x200 relays.
Do you talk track and field at home? Yeah, a lot. A lot, actually.
What's kind of interesting is that the sisters started the season without having the 4x1 on their radar.
We wanted to break the school record, so we kind of just ran it at a meet, kind of, I would say, like, for fun. We ended up doing really well, and we're like, wait, this might actually be something that we could do at sections.
When I started looking at state rankings and stuff like that, I kind of saw where, instead of just us getting to state, I wanted us to do well at state this year. The sisters all practice handoffs even when I don't say practice handoffs, so I already knew that they could do the 4x1.
The girls say they saw big improvements come with strength training and running club in the off-season. The proof laid out on the track.
But it is Tri-City United. Watch the clock. 139.43 is the all-time state record. They decimated it.
In the state finals, the Hartwigs and Jillian Hound ran to an all-time state record in the 4x2 with a time of 137.9.
I can hardly believe my eyes at what that time just was.
They went under the Class 2A record with the second place finish in the 4x1. The hard work plus close bonds paying off.
With our relays, if we're not like doing something right, we can tell each other without like hurting each other's like feelings. We push each other. Like me and Carly both ran the 200 this year, and we would PR when we run against each other. Like it kind of just gives you a little more like motivation. Like you don't want your sister to beat you, you know? Yeah, I agree. But then when we're in a relay, like we can use that as a positive of like we both want to just run our best.
The secret's out on the Titans' sisterly edge. In St. Michael, I'm Andrea Mayu for NSPN TV.
There's more to come on the Prep Update as we crown more state champions in tennis and on the diamond. Plus, we'll continue to profile this year's Minnesota State High School League Hall of Fame class featuring Randy Brewer. But first, it's trivia time. As we bid adieu to the softball season, we ask you, what team has qualified for the most state softball tournaments? The answer, plus championship highlights, when we return.
New journey.
Division 3 straight to Division 1.
New energy. Same standard.
The Tommies have climbed to the peak of the summit.
And your Pioneer Football League champions wear purple and gray.
No limits. Welcome to St. Thomas Athletics.
We've all had those long meetings that honestly could have been an email. Now you can't make the game on time. But don't give in your 2 weeks notice just yet. Just stay in. Catch the game from home on NSPN. Your neighborhood sports network.
Your trivia question was, what team has qualified for the most state softball tournaments? The answer is Hermantown, who has qualified for 23 state tournaments, with their last appearance coming in 2017. They've been champions 3 times and finished runners-up 5 times. Welcome back to the NSPN Prep Update, coming to you this week from the State Track and Field Championships at St. Michael Albertville High School. For the second straight year, 32 teams battled it out at Caswell Park for the state softball tournament, with the top 8 advancing to the finals at the U. West Lutheran versus United South Central. Rebels looking to set the tone in the Class 1A championship. Grace Walton with the base hit up the middle. That will score Mariah Anderson, and the Rebels take the lead. Anderson would continue to do damage as the Rebels look for consecutive titles. A strikeout of Juliet Raber ends the 3rd inning, but would a 1-run lead hold up? With Anderson, yes. Her 16th strikeout of the game seals another championship for United South Central, a 1-0 win over West Lutheran. Anderson closes out her career with 1,822 strikeouts, a new MSHSL softball record, and she'll pack 2 state titles in her bag as she heads to Minnesota State Mankato next year. For the Rebels, just their 2nd trip to state in school history in softball, but they are 2 for 2 in the title game after winning Class 1A once again. Visitation versus Lake Crystal Welcome Memorial. Tie game in the 2A championship. In the 5th inning, Anna Lloyd with a triple. That scores senior Abby Heemauer, and the Blazers take a 2-1 lead and sense some momentum. However, as you see by the graphic, the Knights are undefeated, the only such team that can claim that in this year's tournament. Sydney Kramer inside outs a single to right, scoring Nettie Parsons to tie the game. The Knights would score again in the 6th, giving Parsons the lead in the circle. Parsons gets Charlotte Ferguson to fly out to Callie Mueller for a perfect end to an undefeated season. First title for the Knights, who came close in 2024, but get the job done in their 3rd consecutive trip to the state tournament. Class 3A, St. Francis versus Byron. A crooked number lead for the Fighting Saints in the 2nd, but more runs on the way. Haley Auslin with a triple that scores Emily Meyer and Samantha Borchert, and just like that, it's 5-0. Sydney Borchert would take that support in the circle and roll with it. A strikeout of Leah Bendix here, one of 8 Ks for Borchert on the afternoon. She had a hit to help her own cause, but pitched a 4-hit gem, getting a fly out to center to end the game and start the celebration. A 6-1 win over Byron. It's the first state softball title for the Fighting Saints, who made the tourney in 2024 for the first time in 30 years. Now they can bring a trophy back to the north. Bloomington Jefferson versus Forest Lake. The 4A title game shaping up to be a pitcher's duel. Grace Rolex with the high heat striking out Maya Kunshir to end the 4th inning. Extra innings, and the Jaguars hope for a quick ending after a long battle. Clarissa Clifford with a runner on first and 2 away, and she sends one over the head of Stellaroni and right. The ball goes to the wall, allowing Olivia Orther to run around the bases like a track star. Rolex would get in a little trouble in the bottom of the inning, but a ground ball to Emily Lee would end it. She tags second base for the final out, 1-0 over Forest Lake. The Jaguars can finally celebrate a state softball title win. They were runners-up last year and get their first championship in this, their 6th trip to state. Boys Championship Tennis, Class 1A Singles. Down a set, Rochester Lourdes' Evan Ritter had to work for set point in the 2nd. Back and forth with Wyatt Hellberg of North Branch, but a sliding forehand allows Ritter to take the 2nd set and tie up the match. 3rd set in the tiebreak, serving for the match. Ritter volleys a little with Hellberg, but a corner shot forces Hellberg to go long and out, and Ritter wins the Class 1A championship, the first for a Lord Eagle since 2023. Class 1A doubles. St. Paul Academy would have the doubles championship as both teams are Spartans. Alan Wang and Isaac Centerantna, closest to you, would only need a couple of returns here, with Centerantna getting the winner, and they would take set 1. In the 2nd set, Winston Arvidsson and Henry Kamek would have to retire due to injury, and the teammates would celebrate the 2nd straight state title for Wang and Centerantna. Class 2A singles. Soren Swenson of Mounds View serving to Wayzata's Ethan Turunen, and he'd get an ace at 40-30 to tie the 2nd set at 5, and would eventually win the set. 2nd set now, and you can see a little better the movement on the serve from Swenson as Turunen returns back to the net, and that gives Swenson the 2A singles title, his 2nd consecutive championship. Class 2A doubles, Jacob Salisbury and Nolan Badoon of Wayzata serving to Varen Tangetti and Zayden Chow of Eden Prairie. Watch the effort by Salisbury and Badoon, stretching out the court and getting the overhead slam to earn a set point. Later, a long return gives Salisbury and Badoon the state 2A doubles title, the 2nd such championship for Salisbury, who won it in 2024, but his first title with Badoon. Baseball teams were providing more highlights as they try to qualify for their state tournament on the road to Target Field. Here's some of our favorite moments from the section championships. Mounds View versus Champlain Park. Already down a run in the opening frame, Champlain Park regains the momentum on a Reese George hit. George goes up the middle, scoring Christian Dole and Caleb Greer. The Rebels hold on to win 4-2 to win Section 5 and head back to the 4A state tournament. Providence Academy versus Glencoe Silver Lake. Small ball was the idea, but it became so much more. Evan Motzko bunts with runners at second and third, but an error allows an extra run to come in. GSL will head again to the Class 2A state tournament with a 6-1 win over Providence Academy. Cherry versus Southridge. Panthers trying to protect a 4-run lead, but Cherry threatening with 2 aboard. That is, until Ben Protaski throws this wicked curve to Jackson Nagel to get out of trouble. Southridge wins 6-1 to make their 5th state tournament appearance in 6 years. Eastridge boys lacrosse has put up impressive scoring numbers this season, scoring in double-digit goals all but 1 game, and 130 goals in 7 games in May. Justin Barrientos went to the Raptors' nest to find out more.
Eastridge made the boys lacrosse state tournament for the first time in school history last season. In the off-season, Bradley Johnson transferred in from Park and improved an already potent Raptor offense.
Last year's class, I think, really kind of paved the way for this year's class. First time ever going to state, and I think just kind of the attitude and the mentality that team had really kind of carried over to this year with the kids that returned and then the new kids we got as well. So it's been great to see just kind of the mentality and the continuality of that.
Austin Griffith and Bradley Johnson were the top 2 goal scorers in the state. Both have tallied over 60 goals this season, even with the opposition targeting them, a testament to the entire team's strategy.
It's a special 6 guys on that offense. I mean, you do have Austin and Bradley, but you got 4 other guys that are really supporting them, and they can do everything as well. So to have 6 guys with that kind of talent and that skill level, I think it's really special. You really don't see that at the high school level very often. So, you know, it's just been really fun to see the offense be creative and score goals and just be successful because of all that talent that we have on the field.
Being able to have multiple goal scorers on the team helps out a lot, and our practices really help out because we try a bunch of new things in practice, and our ball movement's been very well. So just being able to connect in multiple ways that we are able to, you know, see what happens, try things at practice, and just work at it really hard, and it's been very easy to connect there.
It's been super fun. We had a road trip to Moorhead. Never done that before with the team. That was really fun. I don't know, practices are always fun. We're always working hard, grinding, so I don't know, it's been really fun.
It's also helped to have a strong defense this season as well.
A senior core defense at Close D. We have a junior goalie who's just been incredible. Since he was a 7th grader, he's been in the varsity program in some capacity, so he's been around a long time. The D-Corps been playing together, you know, for 5 years now, and you can really kind of see that chemistry just come out on the field.
Our goalie Shanley is always on his toes. He's like the captain of that defense, and he's very loud. He talks, and he's always making everyone better in practice.
And it helps that even though Griffith and Johnson have only played varsity together this season, they've known each other long before this year.
We have really good ball chemistry. We used to play together when we were younger, so I mean, it's something that's worked really well. We play pretty the same, and just being able to connect with the ball and knowing where we're going to be, it helps us get there.
I don't know, it's kind of a whole team effort, like it's like with our offenses and our sets, so I think it's like our whole team, but we're just like the ones that put the ball in the net.
That's the fun part of our offense is we trust all 6 guys, so if they put a pull on one of those guys, if they lock out one of those guys, there's 5 other guys that we can go to, and you really just can't stop 6 guys when they're all coming at you like that, so that's been great.
In Woodbury at Eastridge High School, Justin Barrientos, NSPN.
Thanks, JB. Some lacrosse highlights. White Bear Lake versus Stillwater. Late in this one, Ponies trying to put the game away. Robert Appert IV will run around the arc and get a good angle, securing a 3-goal lead. Stillwater wins 10-6. They qualify for state for the 5th time, looking for their first boys lacrosse title. Benilde St. Margaret's versus Wayzata. Trojans have a 2-goal cushion in the 3rd period, but that's not a lock in lacrosse. Ryder Alstead will go down low to get the goal and give Wayzata a little breathing room. They win 10-7 for their first trip to state since 2019. Girls lacrosse, Park versus Cretin-Durham Hall. Riley Leach thought she had a goal on this play, but the ball bounces off the post. Luckily, Jordan Roska keeps the possession alive and finds Paloma Kronschnagel for the goal. Raiders win 11-4, punching their state ticket for the 5th time. White Bear Lake versus Stillwater. Wait, didn't we just do this? The rare boys-girls same schools final. 1-goal lead for Stillwater late. Make it a 2-goal lead thanks to Indira Capel. That's your final. Ponies send both lacrosse teams to state, with the girls going for the 14th time in 16 years. Coming up, boys section final volleyball highlights. Plus, we'll spotlight another Minnesota State High School League Hall of Fame inductee, basketball legend Randy Brewer. And we'll feature one of the hosts of state baseball, St. Cloud Cathedral, in our School Snapshot.
There's a new destination for all things Minnesota high school sports. It's called Strib Varsity. It's from the Minnesota Star Tribune, so you know it's trusted. With a deep bench to cover all of Minnesota. We've rebuilt and relaunched our MM Prep hubs and added more sports. Stories, streams, stats, scores, schedules. We have it all at Strib Varsity. Subscribe today at startribune.com/stribvarsity.
Welcome back to the NSPN Prep Update, coming to you this week from St. Michael Albertville High School, hosting the Minnesota State High School League Track and Field Championships for the 6th time. We'll continue our look at the inductees to the Minnesota State High School League class of 2026 for the Hall of Fame. Today, we meet former Gopher and Timberwolf, Randy Brewer.
It's no surprise that Randy Brewer's towering 7'3" height is a conversation starter.
Well, people ask me how tall I am. So first question I answer and see whether or not they have regular math or outcome-based education is I'm 5 feet 27 inches. And most people can't do the math on that anymore. So they'll come up with 6 foot? Yeah, no.
And there have been times when folks have mistaken his height.
Actually, I was always taller. So there was never really a growth spurt where you went, oh my God, he grew a lot this year. Like I think I was 6'8" in 7th, 8th grade. Next year I went to Dutcher's camp and he put down on the card 6'11", and he actually crossed it out and said 6'1". And then I walked in and they went, oh yeah, he's 6'11".
Brewer understood early on that he didn't have the body type to be a football player, and baseball was certainly out of the question too.
You got to remember, back then we had 3 channels and an independent channel, so there wasn't a lot of basketball played on. So I mean, our heroes were the Gophers. I mean, and we didn't get to watch them. We just had to listen to them on a radio. And I remember driving grain truck and listening to the Gopher football team and then basketball team and so forth like that. But basically, it was all covered on radio, and that's how we got all our information on. And NBA was not covered that much. I had a grade school coach in 7th grade start teaching me the hook shot. He said, if it's good enough for Kareem, it's good enough for you. Well, I tried the hook shot and I got very good at it. And the only thing that I did different than Kareem is I learned how to shoot the left-hand hook shot. So I could go left or right with the hook shot.
That right-hand, left-hand hook shot combo would become famous at the Minnesota State High School League level as he powered Lake City to a 3-year run of dominance. The Tigers compiled a 70-3 record in his 3 seasons of varsity play and won 2 consecutive Class A championships.
Well, the community was well behind us. They really enjoyed it. The school was behind us. I mean, great team spirit. If you look back in the old videos and watch the old games and stuff like that, there's a whole section of people from Lake City showed up. You know, pretty much the last person that left Lake City, it was his job to roll up the sidewalks and shut the lights off. And the town was pretty much deserted when we went up there and played, and it was a great time. Great players, great amount of coaching goes involved to getting there. And it's hard for a coach, I think, to coach a team that's really good, because our average score was somewhere around 40 points to 70 points. You know, we were winning by 35, 40 points a game. I'd like to thank all my coaches, from the 7th grade coaches through all the way through high school coaches, college coaches, even the pro coaches. I mean, they all help. I mean, if you're willing to listen, people are willing to take time to teach you.
Some boys volleyball highlights. Blaine versus Spring Lake Park. Panthers up a set but down 3 points in the 4th. That doesn't matter to Ben Lowe. He'll wait for the setup and the big kill to start the comeback. Spring Lake Park wins 3-1, going back to state for the 2nd time in this young sports high school league existence. St. Michael Albertville versus Elk River, a 5-setter at Zimmerman. Little bit of an upset as the second-seeded Knights about to send the top seed home. Nick Michaels and Jonathan Sixta meet at the net to get the block and all but secure the win. Knights advance to state for the first time with a 3-2 win over the Elks. Prairie Seeds Academy versus Roseville. Another match going the distance, and this one you can call an upset. Jaden Mua with the ace on championship point to win Section 5 3-2. They only have 5 sports teams, but the Lycans will look to add to their trophy case, which has a 2010 boys soccer title. Maybe volleyball's next. Hopkins will have a new boys basketball coach next season. Former Park Center head coach and former Hopkins assistant James Ware will take the reins. No pressure. He'll only take over for Ken Novak Jr., who set the all-time record for career coaching victories, passing Bob McDonald on March 6th. But Ware has a lot of experience seeing what made Novak successful at Hopkins. He played for Novak in the 90s and started his coaching career under Novak. Ware will look to lead the Royals to their first state tournament appearance since 2019. Girls flag football will have to wait a little bit to be a full-fledged varsity sport. The Minnesota State High School League Board voted to table a proposal to move the sport to emerging status, which will put it on the fast track to become a sanctioned sport. However, the tabling was to get more information in order to make a decision, and another vote could be held before the next school year begins to put girls flag football on the emerging status track. 2 sports did get good news at the latest High School League Board meeting. Girls team wrestling was given emerging status designation, which means girls team duels could happen in approximately 2 to 5 years. And esports had their presenting partnership model approved by the MSHSL board. The model is currently used for clay target and robotics. Esports will continue to be led by Fenworks, and an MSHSL state championship event will be developed. There are just a few sports left this school year who are in championship mode. Here's what we have planned for streaming this week on NSPN. We start with boys and girls lacrosse. They get started on Tuesday and run through Saturday at White Bear Lake and Roseville High Schools. Boys state volleyball Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at the University of St. Thomas. We'll have state golf on Wednesday, a special presentation this year. You'll definitely want to check that one out. And of course, state baseball, Thursday and Friday for the first 2 rounds. The championships will take place on Monday, June 15th at Target Field. It's time for our school snapshot. That's where we get to know the towns, schools, and communities outside the playing field. This week we traveled to St. Cloud to learn more about Cathedral High School. St. Cloud Cathedral has a rich history. This Catholic school, located an hour northwest of the cities, has sat on the same corner of downtown St. Cloud since 1884. Back then it was called Holy Angels Pro-Cathedral School. Over the past 140 years, they've celebrated many milestones, like in 1922, when the school was accredited by the University of Minnesota, and has been continuously accredited from that date forward. 3 years later, they adopted the Crusaders nickname and reached their peak enrollment in 1964 with over 1,600 students. It's down from that now to around 600, grades 7 through 12, but their athletics remain strong. They've won 28 team championships coming into this year, many of them in baseball. You can say the school is a diamond in the rough. The over 15,000 graduates have strong values, as it says on their website, quote, "Inspired and informed by Catholic tradition. Our mission is to educate people while inspiring them to virtuous lives." That's it for this episode of the NSPN Prep Update. Special thanks to everyone here at St. Michael Albertville and State Track and Field. Next week, we'll be at State Golf in Jordan with a special look at our NSPN coverage of the finals. Our producer is Justin Barrientos, editor Jake Loftus. Our creative director is Hannah Strenger. For Andrea Mayu, Mike Peden, and the rest of the NSPN crew, I'm Ryan Phelps saying so long from the Neighborhood Sports Network.